It's November 3rd, and everything is breaking towards Trump. We're here. We've arrived at the big day, and what we're going to do in this video is we're going to take a look at how quite literally everything, every trend, every indicator is moving in the direction of President Donald J. Trump. A quick programming note, I will be giving live updates throughout the night tonight on the state of the vote. And on this video, I'm going to give you a sense of what I'm going to be looking for throughout the night in analyzing the vote, to give you a sense of the strategy that I'm just going to be using to analyze the results. So make sure to tune in for regular updates all throughout the evening. It's not going to be a full live stream, but I will be giving you quick 5-minute updates on where we are in the vote tallies to help you assess the returns. Also, before we begin, make sure to click on that link below. Head on over to my special website for our good friends over at My Patriot Food Supply. As we saw with the whole pandemic insanity, we cannot wait for an emergency to happen before we respond to one. And no one makes preparing for an emergency more ridiculously easy and affordable than My Patriot Supply. Gang, they're simply the best. Their food kits last up to 25 years in storage. They include breakfast, lunches, and dinners. And best of all, they've got a guarantee policy just for you that's going to absolutely knock your socks off. And if you act right now, you can save $100 off a full 4-week emergency food supply when you click on the link below to my special website. You heard that right. $100 off. So don't wait. I've got my food supply. Make sure to get yours. Click on that link below or go to preparewithsteve.com and save $100 off your very own 4-week emergency food supply today. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. We have got some amazing developments just in the last 24 hours. So strap yourselves in. As of today, Election Day, we're seeing massive movement towards Trump at virtually every level. First and foremost, Trump's aggregated approval rating has hit the magic 46%. Styx was talking about this earlier this morning. Again, this is the Real Clear Politics aggregate that contains all of those contaminated, manipulated polls that have been pushed by the mainstream Marxist media over the last several weeks, as well as better polling that more accurately reflects the sentiment of the electorate. And even with all that contaminated polling, Trump has hit the magic number of 46%. I think it's higher than that, obviously, because, well, first of all, because you have the lag time with the polling. The polling is telling you what the sentiments were, say, 48 hours ago, when they were finally putting the poll together. So these aren't flash polls, which of course can themselves be very misleading. It just depends on who shows up to the vote, as it were. So I think that the trending towards Trump actually has him higher than the 46%. And I think it's corroborated too by the average of the more reputable polling firms, all of whom show Trump's approval skyrocketing. The Democracy Institute has Trump at 52% approval. Gravis has 52% approval. Rasmussen has 51% approval. The Hill, 49%. Gallup, 46%. Fox News, 46%, which averages out to a 49% approval. Easily gets Trump over the top later tonight. And this spike in Trump's approval is being accompanied with a massive break towards Trump among the so-called undecided voters. And that seems to be what's giving Trump these amazing numbers all across the battleground states. So here's some of the latest. The Trafalgar Group is tracking a huge support, a surge of support for Trump in Nevada. Yes, you heard that right, in Nevada. Trump now has the lead in Nevada. He's leading Biden 49.1 to 48.4%. Remember, Nevada was not supposed to be in play in 2020. Nevada is a thoroughly reliable blue state in presidential elections. So this is absolutely gigantic, but it's not a surprise because we've been seeing this movement, this massive break towards Trump. Trafalgar has actually been tracking this over the last few days. They had Biden and Trump statistically tied in Nevada over the weekend. Biden led then 49 to 47%. And so it was within the margin of error. And they were noticing this clear trending towards Trump over the last week in Nevada. But here now, while again, I'm sure still within the margin of error, we're beginning to see this break in Trump's direction, taking Trump past Biden. And because of the lag time inherent in polling and the trends moving in Trump's favor, he may be leading outside the margin of error as of today. We'll see, of course, tonight. We'll see. Another indicator is that Nevada men are now voting ahead of women, 48 to 46%, which pretends to be far more Republican in its outcomes. So Nevada is actually on the table tonight. That's amazing. And if that's what's going on in Nevada, gang, you certainly don't have to worry about Arizona, all right, at this point. Moving over to Pennsylvania, Trump now has reportedly taken the lead in Pennsylvania, erasing a 1.3-point Biden lead in just 2 days of early voting. According to pollster Richard Barris, undecideds and late breakers in Pennsylvania are voting 3-1 in favor of Trump. I mean, this is the gates bursting open, gang, all right? This is going to be amazing to watch. Big data poll, Barris's outlet, is showing Trump with a 1-point lead in Pennsylvania. So let's see if that plays out as well this evening. Minnesota is very close. We're getting reports that in the northern tier, Trump is winning men by 30 plus points. Apparently, it's an absolute blowout in the northern tier, and we're talking massive numbers for Trump. So this may be enough to turn Minnesota red for the first time since 1972 in nearly 50 years. In Wisconsin, the Democrats are the Republicans reported to be surging. The 60 or so counties that Trump won in 2016 are all overperforming in their 2016 levels. In other words, it looks like the coalition of counties that gave Trump the victory in Wisconsin, again, the first time a Republican won that state in 30 years since the 1980s, that coalition looks to be even stronger in 2020 than it was in 2016. In Florida, some of the bellwether counties are coming out in droves for Trump. In Sumter County, pundits were keeping an eye on that county to see if seniors would start deserting Trump. That was one of the narratives, that the mainstream Marxist media was pushing, that seniors were abandoning Trump and voting Biden. Well, it looks like that was another media hoax that's collapsing before our very eyes. Republicans in Sumter County have now outperformed their 2016 vote tally by 3.1 points. And so Trump is poised to win Sumter by an even bigger margin than in 2016. In North Carolina, the map is actually turning almost completely red right before our very eyes. The Democrats are currently underperforming their 2016 level of support when they went on to lose the state by nearly 4 points. And Larry Schweikert tweeted out late last night that Virginia, yes, Virginia is in play. Virginia is within reach. And this is largely because of the threefold pattern of the youth vote implosion, a black vote shortfall with more blacks defecting and voting for Trump than ever before, and a massive, massive showing up of white men. That threefold trend may indeed tilt Virginia to the right tonight. Amazing stuff. So how should we go into tonight? What do we want to be looking for? Well, first, I want to make sure you click on that link below and you get your copy of this exciting new book by best-selling authors James Razone and Miranda Watson entitled Rigged. Now, we're all, of course, familiar with social media manipulation and deep fake technology and foreign interference, right? It all sounds a little familiar of what's happening here. That sets the stage for this new geopolitical thriller. This Christian author duo brings you all the conflict, intrigue, and page-turning adrenaline of a political thriller, but without all the profanity and unnecessary sexual content that you get with so many modern novels. Just read the over 400 awesome reviews on Amazon, and you'll see that this book is going to absolutely thrill you. It's a perfect gift for fans of the Bourne Legacy series and Tom Clancy novels, so don't wait. Click on that link below and grab your copy of Rigged today. All right, so as I'm giving my updates tonight, what I'm going to be watching carefully for are the returns coming out of Florida and Ohio. Okay, that's first and foremost. And the reason for this is because both Florida and Ohio are the two major bellwether states. By themselves, they're great bellwethers, right? The winner of Florida has won 13 of the last 14 presidential elections. 1992 was the sole exception when you had a spoiler candidate, Ross Perot. So if it looks like Trump is winning Florida, which we should be seeing around, say, 9 p.m. or so, we should be seeing the numbers coming in favoring Trump. If it looks like he's winning Florida, he is most likely on his way to winning the whole thing. Okay, the other bellwether state is Ohio. The winner of Ohio is going on to win the general election in 34 of the last 38 elections. That's going all the way back to 1860. Now, right now, Trump is blowing it out of the water in Ohio. Look at these numbers coming to us from NBC News. The Republicans are currently beating the Democrats by 11 freaking points in terms of mail-in ballots. 11 points. Again, just to put that in some historical perspective, the Democrats were leading the Republicans by 7 points in early voting on the day of election of 2016, when they went on to lose the state by 8 points. It looks like the final tally for Election Day 2020 is the Republicans are going to be beating the Democrats by at least 11 points. I mean, this is really an absolute blowout. Now, just to give you some historical perspective here as well, since 1852, the candidates who won both Ohio and Florida are 26 out of 27 in terms of winning the presidency. The only exception was Nixon and Kennedy in 1960, and Biden ain't no JFK. So we have the two major bellwether states that determine who wins the presidency more than any others, and Trump is poised to win them both, with one of them, Ohio, looking like it's going to be an absolute blowout from where we stand right now. So that's what I'm going to be keeping an eye on tonight. I'm going to be looking at Florida and Ohio big time. Then, of course, we're going to be looking at the returns coming in from North Carolina. Trump is poised to win the state by about 3 or 4 points at this point. So we'll be keeping track of that. And then we're going to look at the Rust Belt states. So Wisconsin, Iowa, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Minnesota. And I'm going to be particularly interested in watching those counties, nearly 200 of them, that voted Democrat in every single presidential election since the 1980s, but then suddenly defected and voted for Trump in 2016. If those counties are voting Trump again in 2020, I think we can stick a fork in this. So make sure to join me tonight, my periodic updates and summaries of the state of the election. Make sure to get out there and vote. I just came back standing in line for an hour and 15 minutes. Grab one person, at least one friend, one family member, take them with you. Well, obviously a Trump supporter. Take them with you, and let's together shock the world. Let's see a massive Trump victory tonight. Let's leave no doubt. Now, before you go, make sure to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. And you'll definitely want to check out my latest video. I just uploaded it on what election forecasters who predicted Trump's 2016 win are saying about 2020. You're going to absolutely love it. So make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.